okay? Uh, just working through these overtimes, the ideas behind the overtimes. The overtimes present a bunch of problems that the back mount doesn't necessarily pose during training, because when in training you end up in the back mount with both people sitting up and kind of freezing until someone says go. It doesn't exactly exist. So what you end up with when you go into overtime is a scenario where there's going to be a moment of relaxation and then an explosion, and then understanding how to counter that, and then the mental game that goes back and forth right there is pretty important. It's not just the back mount like some people would say, like, well, it's just the back mount. If you're good at the back mount, you're good at EBI overtime. It's not true. There's a strategy there. There's an idea. There are multiple levels of mental kazushi as well as physical kazushi that happen in the overtime. So that's kind of what we've been digging into all week. And the main play we've been working on is the crossbow. So what we're going to work on today is something super simple. When I'm attacking Brian's back in this overtime scenario, one of the things that goes on here is we're going to pick a side whenever they say go. Now, generally, I like to go to the trapped arm side. The reason I like to go to the trapped arm side is because I have a lot more options for offense there than I do when I go to the other side where I just have the choke. You know what I mean? So what I like to do over here is beat him to the angle I want. So I'm gonna shift his body a little bit, and then I'm gonna shift my body a little bit, and then I'm gonna start falling to my side and pinning that hip. Okay? Pinning the hip, I think, is the most important thing in the back mount, but you know, everybody has their ideas. But I really emphasize pinning this to the mat. Okay? Once I get this situation worked out for myself, I can start making the different plays that I like from here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make our play to the crossbow. Basic things we've already gone over this week. Clearing the neck to keep him from burying his head and escaping here. Okay? Putting on that Kimura grip, that way we're able to manipulate this arm. And then once we have that, extending our body and getting into the actual crossbow position. A couple small details on controlling the crossbow: knees pinched, heels pinched, elbow to the ear. And this is a constant, right? This position is really important that you guys keep all those things in check. I'm not really trying to pull his arm or anything like that. I'm just lifting his elbow to his ear, creating that uncomfortable pinch for him. So now, what we're gonna do this week or today is right here. Brian's going to try to push my leg off, right? And that's a pretty smart idea considering that it starts breaking my control down right away. So he pushes that off, and then I just weave this underneath, right? But what happens if I get here and I weave it underneath and Brian doesn't go back to locking his hands in a static position? He tries to push my leg off and jump over it. So he pushed my ankle into the mat and try to get over it. Well, now we have to play the crucifix, right? Which for Brian is a lot better than being stuck in the crossbow. He was an inch away from being finished before. Now Brian has a chance to defend and move away here. So details on the crucifix, small things that you guys can do. The first thing I'm gonna do right here when we land is I'm not gonna allow this to go any further towards the mat. Like, I'm not gonna go this way any further. I don't want that to happen at all. What I want to do immediately is I want to pinch my knees together and start walking my feet up and getting to the flat of my back. Okay? This is really important because this is how I'm going to open them up. Okay? So I'm not really too worried about all these different configurations with the legs. I don't even really need my ankles crossed, to be honest. I just need this good pinch with my knees and then to walk with my feet. Okay? The more I open up Brian's shoulder, the easier it's going to be to open up that neck. Okay? So right away we land here in the crucifix, and then I'm just going to pinch those knees and start walking. And now once we're here, I can switch to the pinky grip. Remember, we're always following the thumb and the pinky line whenever we're controlling. And I can loop this arm around and start looking for the choke here on Brian. Pretty easy stuff, really easy to follow, right? A lot of times I'll choke with just the one arm. I won't worry about using this hand too much, okay? If I'm here, I'm walking Brian back, and I go like this, and he starts trying to turn into me, like this, like he's gonna try to hide that chin. That's cool. It's not gonna last very long. I'm gonna use my head to turn his head, okay? And one huge detail, guys, here when you're using one arm choke is that hide the hand under your chin, okay? I know a lot of guys say like reach for the trap and these types of things, but one huge detail that you guys are gonna wanna do is when your hand gets back here behind his neck, put your chin over your hand like this. That ensures that you get that nice solid connection. It also stops him from being able to dig it out in most cases, okay? If I can start choking Brian and then start working his hand behind his back, even better, okay? Because now when I start going this way, it's much tighter, it's a much better position, okay? So, first things first, guys, don't think that you failed the crossbow just because you're going to the crucifix. You didn't really do anything too bad. He just chose what he considered to be the lesser of two evils. So he pushes that off, I loop my foot in, and he jumps over it. Boom. We're here, right? If I wait here, he's gone. Not gonna wait here. The moment we get here, I'm gonna scoop this knee under his shoulder and start walking my feet. Super uncomfortable for him. Pinky grip, and start looping that head. This is the key to stopping that jump over technique. If I stay here and let Brian stretch his body out, that's where that rollover technique comes from. I don't really want that. So the moment that I feel him stretch that head out, I scoop it up. No more rollover. Okay? Now I'm here, my chin is hiding everything. I can make one choke happen. If Brian's trying to turn away or turn in or do whatever, I can start working this hand behind his back. That's gonna provide an even better situation for me. And that's the play. So basically we're working to the crossbow. He's not only pushing that leg down, but trying to push it down and hop over it. We need to be ready to lock that crucifix and flatten right away. Okay? Questions? All right, let's make it happen.
Hey guys, this is Brian Debs. Most of you guys know me as the Barn Cat. So some of you guys know I've been grappling for over 10 years now, and at the beginning I like to travel and train with a lot of different people, and I had to sleep like on the floor and on some zebra mats and stuff like that. But as I've been traveling and training and making connections, the grappling community is so tight that nowadays, like, a lot of people, if they know you, they'll just give you a couch. They'll really help you out, and I really appreciate that. So I just had to evacuate and close my gym for a little bit because of the hurricane. So I sent a message, maybe I could get a floor or a couch or somewhere to stay. And I actually got a beach cabin that was in between renters. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm sitting on the porch of a beach cabin here in Gulf Shores, Alabama. My boy Josh hooked me up. So I'm super grateful for that. And I've actually decided to start a little series, hopefully I stick with it, that shows kind of the grappling lifestyle. That's what I'm going to call it. Kind of shows the grappling community, and I'm going to show you guys some training that we're doing down here at 10th Planet Gulf Shores. And it's going to be great, man. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy.
from the side control, which we've been working on all week. Except for last night, I have no idea what you guys worked on last night. Just side control. So we worked on the near side arm, we worked on the far side arm, we worked on the near side leg. So the only thing that's left really in terms of finding a game plan to attack each limb is the far side leg. The neck comes up sometimes, but not really. Most people don't just try to sit up out of side control with their head first, so you don't really get a lot of chances to just attack the neck as they come up. It's usually an arm and the neck. But attacking the far side leg is an interesting play you can make as you are dealing with somebody in side control. So one of my favorite ways to attack that far side leg, and it's kind of an odd path, but it plays in pretty well if you have like a good side control like mount game. So as I'm playing side control here with Barn Cat, a lot of times, if we roll a lot, he's not just going to try to shove me off or stick a limb up there. He knows I'm just going to grab it or something like that. He's going to take his time or whatever. So what I generally will do is just make a lot of shoulder pressure here. And if you'll notice, as I make a lot of shoulder pressure on this side, my hip kind of drops on that side. So I can make more pressure without having to lean over him and let him roll me over. Since I'm putting all my weight on my hip here, my other leg is really light. I can come up to the hip really easy. You guys see that? Like getting to knee on belly is pretty simple from right here. So I'm here, making a lot of pressure. I can just put that knee up there anytime I want. A lot of times, as you guys start to transition here, guys are going to try to turn into you and keep that mount from happening right here. The last thing Barn Cat wants me to do is bring this all the way across and make it to the mount with all of this already locked up. You know what I mean? And since he can't use his hands to just shove my leg off like most people would do in the knee on belly, as I go here, a lot of times they'll start shrimping and turning their hips into you, and that'll kind of keep me from making it all the way across. Keeps me off balance, right? So one of the ways I like to attack this leg is as he does that, I like to just kind of lift my hip up real high, and I'm going to turn my foot through like that. Okay, you guys see that? So I'm kind of like making this movement right here. I'm here in the knee on belly with my chest down, and I'm lifting my hips up, and I put my foot in between his legs and bring my knee to the other side. Now from right here, since Barn Cat was turning in this way, I can just swing this leg back and scoop up his leg and go into the foreleg. Okay? It's a pretty simple transition, and if the guy's really turning into you, trying to throw your weight off, it's really easy to get to it because she's really strong right there because he's going to be, the only thing he can move really is that hip, so he's really going to be trying to do it and prevent this situation. So here, I'm making pressure, I put my knee up, he tries to counteract that, and getting to the 411 is pretty simple, right? We're just getting here. And if you guys will notice, I'm here, I'm not like immediately trying to lock up the 411. The reason I go here is because I want to control the legs first. I don't want to like just fall off of him completely like this and start trying to get my legs together, because then he'll just scoot away and I'll never get him. It's much more valuable for me to be here for a second where I can kind of like pin him and get that leg and then kind of fall back and lock the 411. All right? So if Barn Cat didn't do anything with his hip when I was right here, then I would just slide this across and mount, no problem. But if I'm here and he tries to off balance by turning his hip in, well, then we have this back step, right? So knee on belly, he turns in, foot in the middle, hips over the top, back step, and then we turn to face the leg, okay? I'm not turning all the way around like this, I'm just turning to here, okay? And then once we get this, we can just start falling back and locking up that forward. The same transition can be done in the mount. If you guys have a guy who likes to turn to one side in the mount a lot and play like the elbow escape, it's really easy for you guys to stick your foot up like this in the mount. You see what I'm saying? So go back to the regular. When the flat, I know Barn Cat loves that elbow escape, so I throw my feet in. When Barn Cat goes to one side to make that elbow escape, it's the same transition into the foreleg, right? Same exact thing. So we're just attacking that top leg as it becomes the top leg, if that makes any sense to you guys. So side control, making pressure, knee on belly. He tries to prevent it by turning onto his side. Here. Okay. As you guys drop into position, collect the leg. Boom. Okay? You guys have any questions? All right, let's do it.
Day 7 as a refugee. Hanging out at the beach, training twice a day, eating acai. Why would anybody want to do this? This is terrible. All right, I'm here with Sean Applegate at 10th Planet Gulf Shores. Can you tell us about your rank and lineage, Sean?
Yeah, man, I'm a brown belt under Eddie Bravo. I've been with Eddie pretty much the entire time I've been doing jiu-jitsu. My first instructor was Brandon McCatherine, and he kind of brought me in, and then I got my blue belt from Brandon and my purple and my brown belt from Eddie.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your gym, Sean.
So we're in Foley, Alabama. The school is 10th Planet Gulf Shores. It's all pretty close, small community. So, you know, we're down here in the community. It's a pretty tourist-based area, so you know, we try to be a really inviting, really relaxed and laid-back gym, and have a great atmosphere for people coming in as well as the people who train here.
Okay, so what is your class structure like?
So basically, we do a morning class and an evening class Monday through Friday. We do an hour of technique and then an hour of live grappling. The techniques are pretty much based around a principle that we determine at the beginning of the week, and then we just build on that throughout the week with techniques and applications of that principle. The day and the night class work on separate techniques, and that's to, you know, make sure that it's beneficial for the guys who train twice a day, every day.
Okay, what's your mindset on how technical or how hard should you train? Like, what's the vibe of training like here?
So the training here is going to vary every day you come in. It just depends on who you're training with, what they're doing that day, what we have going on. You know, we have a stable of professional grapplers here, so those guys are going to be training based on their events or the things that they're coming up on and working on. And then of course we have the hobby players and the folks that are just trying to come in and learn something cool. So you can pretty much guarantee you're going to get a relaxed roll if you want to roll with one of the hobby players, or if you catch one of the pros on like just a chill day. There are days where we come in and people are trying to train to win, at least in the professional group. So those are the tough rolls. You know, there's not one pace in the gym. I believe that effective training is determined by the variation in the training itself. So, you know, if I want to be a good competitor, I can't come in and try to smash skulls every day because I'm going to get hurt and my training partners are going to be hurt. However, I can't come in every day and just kind of go 50% and flow every day, because then I'm not going to get the cardio reps or the high intensity reps that I need to really refine those techniques and those principles.
All right, Sean. Well, I've been here for about a week and I've had a blast, so thank you for inviting me. And also, do you have any other thing to say about your gym or about yourself?
I mean, not really, man. We're pretty straightforward. We have a good group of guys here. We all try to train and have a good time and cut up and you know, just bring that close camaraderie that you get from jiu-jitsu. And yeah, man, it's been great having you. And anything beyond that, bro, is totally cool, dude.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, bro.
In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you?